And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Lads, I don't know what film you were watching, but it wasn't the same film I saw.
I'm all the man you need, Mark.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked and appalled.
So I'll bring it up, Ted.
It wasn't a very good movie. I laughed at it more than I laughed at The Possession.
Good evening and welcome to Is It a Bicycle? Season 7, Episode 7, the original and bestest ever TV and movie podcast. My name is Stephen Wrigley and I'll be your host for this evening. Beside me is a man who took down all the mirrors in his house this week because he was tired of living with that asshole. It's Mike, the McDonough. This week we're joined by a lady who, based on her search history, Google suggests a social life. It's Shona. I love Canada. This week we hope to discuss some movies in the form of Guardians of the Galaxy and Sharknado2, and some TV in the shape of Satisfaction and Manhattan. We'll also have some previews in coming to a bicycle near you. So, how are we doing?
Fantastic.
Very well.
Good
How are you?
Good, thank you. What did we see this week? That's not on the list.
Oh, I believe we saw Outlander, didn't we?
Oh, we saw Outlander.
In fact, there was a special podcast episode, bonus content.
Yeah, we managed to get a preview of Outlander, courtesy of Stars, which was fantastic. And we really enjoyed it.
We did.
Yeah.
It's getting very mixed reviews on Metacritic, mind.
Is it?
Yeah. A lot of people are really giving out about the voiceovers.
The narration.
Yeah.
I can see why.
And that was how I came to be in the Highlands.
And that's the end of that chapter. You know, yeah.
What's Outlander about then? Give me a précis.
There is a couple who are in the 40s, just after World War II, and they've been separated by the war. They're married. They haven't seen each other 10 days over the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. She was a nurse. He was like special ops or something. Mm-hmm. And so after the war, they go on a holiday together up into the Highlands. It's sort of, he's big into his genealogy and research his family history and so on. They go to visit his castle and various things. And in one of the towns, they are out exploring this area, and they happen to cross some druids ladies doing their thing in a circle with lights and stuff.
Okay.
And a band that's off screen somewhere. She goes back the next day to sort of explore and in the daylight, and puts her hands on one of these stones, and suddenly poof. She faints. Yeah, poof. And,
she faints?
She faints. She becomes overcome.
Poof makes it sound like she's transported. That is the wrong sound bite.
Yeah. So anyway, she ends up in 17...
Oh, so she is transported. So she doesn't faint. Poof was the right sound.
I will be taking apologies in writing after the show.
Never happening.
17 something?
1743, I think.
43,
okay.
Yeah. So, and then she sees these Highlanders in red coats run around. She thinks it's like a TV show or being filmed or something. Then bullets whiz by her, and she goes, whoops, and starts running. And it sort of goes from there.
Okay.
So,
very
so
interesting.
it was a novel. I think it's a set of 8 books, is it?
Yeah, lots.
Yeah. Written around 91. Diana Gabaldon, good man. And she sold like 21 million copies. Or
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
are they making a series, or is it like a mini-series?
Miniserie. No, I think it's a series based on the book. So
Oh, okay,
it could be a
cool.
Game of Thrones kind of a thing.
Oh, wow, sounds
where they follow the
interesting.
books. I guess it depends on how popular it is.
Is it available in Ireland yet?
If you're a member of the Stars Network.
Yes. I don't think it's been shown. It's not on any of the terrestrial.
Okay. Something to be looking out for then, by the sounds
I'm
of it.
sure Sky will have it in the autumn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good quality
Sky Atlantic.
barometer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking when I say that.
So,
it's hard to gauge sometimes.
So yeah, definitely keep an eye for it. Yeah.
Will do.
I think you'd like it. The lead happens to be Irish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Katrina Balfe is her name. So, and she's gorgeous and she's brilliant. So,
Good combo.
yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you go back for more? You know, it's
Why
fantastic
not?
so far, yeah, so yeah, we saw that. What else we see? Hannibal.
Yeah, finally got to see the season finale. Bastards cliffhanger the shit out of it.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a bloodbath. And
I'll save you how it ends. He eats the people.
Yeah.
well, there's the thing, we don't know.
I don't watch Hannibal.
There's only-
I haven't seen the movies or the
There's
TV
only one
show.
major character that we've a good idea what's going to happen to them next.
Hannibal, and he will eat people next.
Did it put
No?
the lotion in the basket?
There wasn't a whole lot of lotion, actually.
Oh.
Plenty of knives, but not a lot of lotion.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
But great
you always
stuff.
Is it
happen
good, yeah?
to like come upon viewing pleasures of cinematic and television that I would never go near. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, Mike.
Yeah.
Good to have the mix.
Yeah. The young lad is still appalled that I got interested in cooking because of a serial killer on TV.
Is that Hannibal got you interested in?
Yeah,
Please.
The TV show is very food based.
Oh,
I
God.
just love my life.
Disgusting. Do you know, I'm glad I already had dinner before I came.
I saw the finale of *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Did you?
Episode 10, yeah. And it was fantastic. Great series.
Uh-huh.
Great series. It would be I wouldn't, maybe a box set, yeah. Yeah, kind of a box set you'd pass around, though, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't watch it 3 times.
All right.
You know, but it's really good. It's really good. Especially if you're, anyway, geeky inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great.
If only there was a TV subscription service where you could just get access to a box set once.
That would be so handy.
What else was there? Geordie Shore, are you watching that?
Yeah.
Bullshit again, are you?
Back into it.
It's very popular, it seems.
It's like putting on an old sock.
Yeah.
Most of the gang are back. A couple of new faces. Getting shit-faced and road senseless as usual. It's
Awesome.
that's the Geordie Shore thing.
What ages are these people?
They seem to be mostly sort of 19 to 26.
Right.
With low morals and strong livers.
Any degrees amongst them?
Gary claims that he should have a degree in pulling women. Sorry, Gads. But I'd say that's the closest.
Yeah. What else do I mean to say to you? So it's the same people every season, is it? How many seasons is there?
I think this is 5 now.
Really?
Yeah.
So they must be new if they're 19.
It's hardly going to follow them
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
older, buying houses and knuckling down.
There are four maybe or 5 that are still there from the beginning. But
They're the 26-year-olds, I guess.
yeah, and there's 3 or 4 new ones added in over time. They come and they go.
And
They
is
have to bring in new people to sleep with, otherwise it gets a bit incestuous.
is that what it's literally about, is it?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Well, theoretically, they're supposed to try and sleep with other people, but often they end up sleeping with the people in the house.
But that's the
it's
point
handy.
of it.
Yeah.
It's just following...
It's
That's
kids.
it.
Yeah.
It's Ibiza
horny
Uncovered,
drunk
but with
kids.
the same people. every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Although, Mike, I am proud of you for watching it. I feel like you need this levity in your life.
Taking one for the team there, Mike.
I have a high tolerance for shitty reality TV. Not quite at the Mark Leonard level, but I do my best.
So we see anything else this week?
I'm continuing to watch House of Cards obsessively.
Oh, yeah.
I literally don't want to watch anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, the Americans season 2 finale was on, which I would say up until I started watching House of Cards would be my primary
And
television.
now you're just like...
Honestly,
Yeah.
it was on last night, and I watched about 20 minutes of it, and I turned to my husband, and I'm like, can we just put on House of Cards? I'm in season 1, kind of the middle of season 1, and I really like it.
Yeah.
So it's taking precedence over everything else. So it means I have a backlog now of the shows I normally watch to catch up on. So yeah, very good.
Yeah,
It's
cool,
very
yeah.
enjoyable.
Did you notice one of the people in one of the items we're going to review today is in House of Cards?
That was very vague, so I'm going to say no.
No? Okay, maybe we'll talk about it later.
Is Kevin Spacey in one of the things that
No,
we
he's not. No,
Beyond that, I'm probably not going to recognize anybody.
It is Rachel Brosnahan, and she is in Manhattan.
I remember the name from the credits. Hold on, let me put the face together. Manhattan. Nope.
Maybe you haven't got to that stage in House of Cards. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure when she was introduced. So
I'm at episode is it 6. He just went.
Yeah, I
he just
can't
had a
remember.
library. Okay.
yeah, I can't remember where she came in season 1. So
Okay.
or if she did even. Yeah. So anyway.
Anyway.
Okay, so let's kick off with the first of our movies, which was Sharknado 2, the second one. So, yeah, I guess most people know what it's about at this stage. It's a B movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not intended to win any Oscars. but I think it's more to have a laugh. And it was a big surprise for them that it did so well with Sharknado, the original, which is about, as implied in the name, it's a tornado with sharks in it, and several tornadoes, I think. And in the last one, they were over Los Angeles, and in this one, the hero and heroine return, but it is set in New York, where it's a storm of biblical proportions.
And will the spirals connect into a super tornado shark?
Wouldn't it be awful if that happened?
That would be absolutely terrible. I wonder what that would look like, everybody.
So this is, it's funny. It's kind of like, everyone is in on the joke. Like the director, the actors, the reviewers, So I was watching it with someone who hadn't been exposed to the original, and sort of had to explain, well, actually, this is complete Mick take. And if you watch it with that frame of mind, it's actually brilliant. But if you
has she been living under a rock for the last year?
Yeah, probably had heard about it. Probably had heard about it, but hadn't seen it.
Okay.
So this stars Ian Ziering and Tara Reid. Did you notice who else was in this?
No, but I was going to correct your pronunciation again because
come on.
Ian Ziering was best known for Beverly Hills 90210, and everybody knows that his name was Ian Ziering.
See, I didn't,
I'm just saying.
Didn't. Well,
everybody who's
Ian?
Cool knows it. Listen, I can't tell you that. I can just tell you how
Thanks
it was.
very much for the correction.
You're welcome. I just don't want you walking around being wrong all the time.
No, that's cool.
People laughing behind your back.
I know. Just
people listening to the podcast are laughing at you.
Before we start on the rest of the people in this, Ian, do you know what age he is?
He's like 40 something, I imagine, at this point. He was like 80 when they did 90210.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
we
he's
had this
aging
question
backwards.
when we watched the original Sharknado.
So do I have to actually guess?
Vaguely, yeah.
I'm going to go with 42.
Mike.
I'd say he's 32.
He's 50.
What?
Yeah.
No fucking
He's
way.
50, yeah. Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Jesus.
The babiest face ever.
Christ.
Yeah.
He has some young
He hasn't
genes.
changed. Like,
No.
Like
he could still be going into 90210 and like he looks the exact same.
Oh yeah, sure. He was probably 30 when he was playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So with that cool, what was it? It was like a permed mullet.
Yes. A classic hairstyle.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Never goes out of fashion.
The flight attendant at the start. Did you recognize her? It was
Yes.
Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly Osbourne, yeah.
Who else was in this? Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah, as also
one
known
was
as
he?
Wesley Crusher from Star Trek. He was.
No, I know who he is.
Yeah, he was a passenger
who
on
was
the
he
plane.
in the? Oh, was he?
Yeah. And
The whole movie was a whole exercise, and oh my god, it's that
I know.
guy.
Yeah. Who else? Sandra Pepper for Salt and Pepper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was the other love interest. wasn't she?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And Kurt Angle was the fire chief, and Billy Ray Cyrus.
As a doctor.
He was a surgeon. Yeah, he
better.
was. Yeah.
And Frank from 30 Rock, one of the writers, was the guy at the baseball game.
That's right, actually. Yeah. That's
I
right.
recognized him.
Yeah, that was funny. So anyway, star-studded. I'd say they were all, sign me up. Please sign me up.
I'd say by the third one, this thing will be bigger than fucking Live Aid. Like,
So true, yeah.
Feed the sharks.
So, our heroes are in a plane and they're coming into land at New York, and some tornadoes turn up, and they can see out through the windows that they're full of sharks. and
Don't
so
be ridiculous.
The first shark death, I'd say, happens within the first 5 minutes, and it's a decapitation, I think. And minutes later, a shark comes in through the front window and takes out the pilots. And it goes on from there. It's hilarious. It's just hilarious. What did you think?
Mike's opinion is the only one worth hearing as the resident B-movie expert, right?
See, you know what my opinion is already, because I've just said it's hilarious about 5 million times. Yeah.
Obviously, I liked it.
Yeah.
But I'll give a criticism.
Oh.
Tara Reid has a secondary, a secondary position in this movie, whereas she was a primary character in the first time round.
Oh, please explain.
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers because, like, they work so hard on the script and everything.
Right.
But, like, she was part of the core of the main people you were following in the first movie.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, they've split the story into sort of 2-3 arcs.
Yeah.
And hers is one of the minor ones. She does get her set piece, moments, but I would have liked to have seen her as one of the main characters again.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was really good in the first one.
Yeah.
Her bad acting really suits a bad film.
She's gifted at this kind of thing. You know? Actually, I was reading during the week she did an interview saying she didn't actually expect anybody would ever see this movie.
Oh, really?
She's still stunned. That
1.3 million watched it on its opening night, apparently.
Jesus.
And this one, there's 3.9 for this one.
Nice.
On Cyber. Yeah, it was, what, they had some crazy comparisons. It wasn't Super Bowl, obviously, but it was something like that. They were like, this was bigger than this, and this, you know, and numbers-wise, so. Oh, and Twitter as well. Some ridiculous amount of tweets, during it. You know,
I suppose
in the
if you
millions.
take into account limited
Billions,
numbers of
sorry,
televisions.
It was billions, not millions, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
With limited numbers of televisions, it was probably bigger than the moon landing.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Yeah, so what do you think of this?
Yeah, it's funny, but I think that the joke kind of wears thin pretty quickly. I don't know, maybe I'm just not in on the joke. It's funny for a while, and you're kind of watching it saying, oh, it's this person, oh, look, it's that person. And you're like, I can't believe a shark just did that.
Yeah.
I think Tara Reid's predicament is particularly hilarious. I spent a lot of time kind of marveling.
Oh God, I laughed out loud.
You bastard!
Yeah, it was so funny.
You heartless
When
fuck.
she was in that predicament. Oh man, I thought it was hilarious.
I shed a tear.
But I do think towards the end of the film, it did give her special dexterity with fighting off sharks. Let's say,
Yes, yeah,
which
yeah.
was enjoyable.
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, it was good for a laugh. But you're kind of watching. How long is the film? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah,
Something
Maybe.
like that, yeah.
yeah.
And I wouldn't say the beginning of the film. You're kind of, you get bored after it because you need for things to warm up for the, the Sharknado to truly become
Yeah.
a threat to humanity
Yeah.
and existence. But it just kind of gets a bit boring after a while. You're like, all right, there's more sharks coming and killing people. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. I just don't know if I could keep my attention for an hour and a half or so. So
Yeah,
I medium enjoyed it. But I see, that's why I wanted to hear Mike's opinion because I don't know how to watch a B film because I have no sense of humor.
There probably weren't as many funny bits, I think, in this one as the original.
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid criticism because
Yeah.
the first one had the whole in your face, I can't believe I'm watching this
Yeah,
fucking
well,
movie
that's
thing.
it.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly, because you're expecting more in
Yeah.
this one, I think.
Yeah.
Like in the first one where the shark jumps on the guy and he goes off screen with the shark.
Yeah.
And all you hear is him shout, "Get off me!"
Yeah.
And it was just so well timed. It was brilliant. And
Right.
and they just switched straight away. There was no mention of it. And your man, oh, John died. Oh well. You know, and they just continued on,
Fuck him.
But with the first one, I got bored too. I remember they were trying to drive down a street, and then all of a sudden, the street became flooded. Then there were sharks under the car, and I remember
That's
just
it,
thinking,
yeah,
oh, fuck off. I don't know. I suppose there's only so much shark-related humor that I can take.
right,
There's a
okay.
certain threshold.
You'll be delighted to know that Sharknado 3 has been given the green light already.
Awesome. I look forward to
Yeah.
reviewing it.
Yeah. Daniel
happen.
Radcliffe wants to sign up.
I heard. Is that true?
Yeah,
That would be
apparently.
awesome.
Yeah.
I might watch it with Daniel Radcliffe. He makes pretty good choices for his career. But I did appreciate the ridiculousness of it is pretty out there. I don't even know what else to say about it.
Yeah.
Ian Ziering does a good job of looking very serious about a shark tornado.
Yeah.
That's
I was just thinking,
that's an underappreciated skill.
That's pretty good acting when you think about it. From that context,
I just don't know what else to say about a B movie. Like, how else would you criticize it except for being really stupid?
Well, did you not notice there was some nice little touches, like the the weather forecasters on TV
Oh.
had icons for Sharknados.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant.
I did. Do you know, I have to say, I think that the serious weather forecast was some of the best bits of the thing. I'd forgotten that. That's true.
Two other guys we should mention. Al Roker, who's the
Yes.
weather, and
Good Morning
the
America.
Today anchor, Matt Lauer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah.
Because you knew that they're not actor, you know.
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
actors,
no.
they're just doing it for the laugh.
TV
pretty much.
personalities, yeah.
Actually, another guy who was in it, the taxi driver, from Taxi. Do you remember
Right.
Taxi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Judd Hirsch.
Yes.
Yes. So it's he's Taxi in the taxi. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Fantastic CGI in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
From time to time, I thought it actually was a real shark. You know?
Sharknado.
Was it just me, or was there a couple of nods to The Evil Dead?
Yes.
With the whole chainsaw
Yes,
thing and
there was, yeah.
some of the positioning of the arms and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Definitely, yeah.
Very
Even-
witty.
What's the follow-on one from Evil Dead?
Army of Darkness
Army of
or
Darkness,
whatever.
that's
Yeah,
it,
that's
yeah.
the one I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Because
lot-
you could picture Bruce Campbell doing this,
Yeah.
you know, and it's that. I think it's that cult kind of status it's going to get. You know, it's that kind of audience that it's going to get. I think, this will definitely be a legend movie.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's the kind of thing that small cinemas will play, you know, have midnight showings of Sharknado and everyone come as your favorite shark kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that
throwing
the
cod at the
future?
screen.
Yeah. They'll have double headers with the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I'd like to see the Sharknado musical.
You know what? You might be onto an idea there.
I'm just saying, trademark, Shona
Telling you.
O'Flaherty.
Yeah.
Get it in there now.
Yeah. Is there anything else saying this?
You can't really.
I don't
say
know what
that.
else there is to say.
Yeah.
You just had to be there.
Yeah. Okay, we'll mark it so.
No.
So,
We need to discuss this marking strategy before we give
Yes.
out marks because,
do you
my
mean do we have a scale
understanding-
for B movies? Is that it?
well, you've led me to believe in the past that you do have a different scale for B movies. So I thought long and hard about this. Before coming to the studios tonight, I had all my researchers and minions pulling statistics for me about how to grade a B movie. So we need to discuss this before we assign, you know, a value to this film.
Right.
I think historically it has been the tradition that B movies get marked out of 5.
Okay. Assuming that 5 is the best. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
5 is an awesome B movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I can work on that scale.
Nice.
So, what mark would you like to give it?
If 5 is an awesome B movie, and I'm not really a B movie person, I thought it was kind of funny, so let's go for a 4.
4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
How does that
You haven't
measure
watched
up?
a lot of B movies, have you?
I've watched Sharknado and Sharknado 2, the second one.
Mike.
I didn't think it was quite as strong as the original.
Mm-hmm.
Still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to probably give it a fairly satisfactory 3,
Mm-hmm.
but not quite the legendary status of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go straight to it. I'm going to give it a 4. Just time flew.
Yeah.
I didn't feel this dragged at all. Like I've said 15 million times already, I thought it was hilarious. And because I think it was because I knew what was coming. Whereas watching the first one, it seemed longer,
Yeah.
but it was very funny too. But yeah.
Yeah. I just think I was more on edge in the first one.
Were you actually on edge?
Will
Okay.
he make it? Won't he?
Wait. Follow-up question. Do you need to be drunk to enjoy a B movie?
It does help.
Was that my mistake?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it
it's part
drunk,
of
and then I'm
the-
going to
the-
text you guys my revised score, and I'll let you know how I get on.
Yeah.
It's part of the critics' toolkit. You know?
Okay, cool. So well received then. Yeah. Okay. First of our TV. Manhattan. Who's going to tell us about Manhattan? Who put it on the list? Who's responsible?
I was told
Own
to
up.
put it on the list.
Okay.
Somebody said this
Come on
is a
then.
really important show that we should probably discuss on the podcast.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, well, good.
everybody's
Tell
going
us
to be
about it.
watching it.
Who thinks it's important?
Metacritic.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's getting 9s and stuff. on
What?
Metacritic. Yeah, yeah. So this is the story of the development of the nuclear bomb in Nevada or New Mexico or whatever it was back in the 40s, and it follows a bunch of scientists and their goodly wives who are on a mysterious base in the middle of nowhere, trying to find ever more efficient ways to convert plutonium into victory. And yeah, that's pretty well the sum of it.
Yep.
This stars John Benjamin Hickey, who's the main dude, protagonist.
The serious scientist who's dedicated to work.
Oh yeah. Ashley Zuckerman, who we know from Terra Nova, and his wife, or played not his real wife, but Rachel Brosnahan, who we talked about earlier from House Cards, and Olivia Williams. Did you spot her?
I did not.
She is John Benjamin Hickey's wife in this.
Ah, okay.
She was on in Last Days on Mars as one of the, remember that scientist that just wouldn't let it go, and she was angry.
Yeah,
yeah.
She's kind of angry in this too, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a smart girl.
Yeah. Too smart for the 40s.
Excuse me.
Jesus, we gave them the vote. What do they want next? Education, is it?
This started kind of slow and interesting. I know it was a period piece nearly. Kind of probably got your wick straight away for that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's like a, I don't know. I feel like I've seen this before somewhere. You know, where people are there to do a job and can't leave until it's done, and the families are trapped. So you have two stories.
Yeah.
So you have the wife who comes with the scientist played by Ashley Zuckerman, who feels trapped in this camp and can't leave to go and do something else until the job is done, and she doesn't know what the job is, and no one can talk about what
It's
they're
a job
doing.
of secrety secrets.
Oh yeah. And then there's the other side of it, which is the scientists, and they are kind of competition to get a project approved, hopefully their own, and it's the race to build a bomb, but it's an internal race now. So, I did like John Benjamin Hickey's character. In that he was not driven by his project, but by the amount of soldiers that were dying every day. He seemed really well tuned into that, and that's what the rush was. People were like, "What? We need this for tomorrow? What's the rush?" He just changes the figure because another 500 of our guys will die. Yeah, you know, that's what the rush is every day. So, I thought he was really good. His dedication to the job, very well done, portrayed and so on. I liked his interaction with the base boss. Yep. The general. He's a general, isn't he? Yeah, general. And sort of tell him to stand up and be a man and do his job and don't be pushed around by these other guys, you know. But yeah, he's obviously he's very, very focused, and I thought he was a great actor. In this,
You see, you have seen this before, Steve, and it was done much better in The Unit.
You know what? It could be that, but I didn't like The Unit. Yeah.
I fucking love The Unit.
Yeah, I know you did.
Don't disrespect The Unit, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's, it is. That's where it was, yeah.
See, like in this show, the husbands can't talk about what they're doing to their with their wives. Yeah. But what they're doing is basically dead hard sums. Yeah. When they go to work, whereas in The Unit they got to go out and blow shit up and save the world every week. Yeah. So I rapidly got bored with this.
Yeah.
Of maths, staring at sheets of maths that no one understands. And
oh, look at all those letters pretending to be numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you think of the other side of the story?
What? The wives?
The wife and her trying to survive and...
Well, before I get there, I have to say that what you liked about the main actor guy, I'm terrible with names, the Benjamin something, the main scientist guy.
John Benjamin Hickey.
John Benjamin Hickey. I found him really annoying. What person is that virtuous that it's like, we all have to work hard, we have to save the country, it's all about saving the war, and it's just like,
Patriotic.
Oh, it's kind of, it gets boring when somebody's that good. You kind of need something else. You know, it's like shiny surfaces. Things don't stick to it because they're too shiny. I need him to be less shiny.
You know, it's just as well you weren't there. They lost the fucking war.
Yeah. There's a reason I'm not involved in anything life-threatening. I am the wrong person to be involved. I feel like, would you get over yourself already?
Sorry, his character's name is Frank Winter.
Frank, that was it. Yeah, he was called Frank.
I could just see it. Yeah, the walls have been breached. Yeah, the enemy's at the gate. Fuck it, you know.
I need a
must
beer.
be something better we can do. Yeah.
Tea fathers.
No, so I would have liked to see kind of another side of him. So I found him really grating. He was just like this serious scientist. Every scene was kind of like constipation face, you know, while he works on math. So anyways, I need to get that out of the way. The wife's side, it must be really boring, but I also kind of hate, and I know that it was, I don't know anything. I was born in 1981, but, it's difficult for me to imagine what society would be like for women at that age when you are expected to kind of just, you know, you're a typist at best. And, you know, there was a few comments made to some of the women about, you know, your husband does this or, you know, don't think that you have a brain. So, you know, that's, it's gotta be tough when you're kind of constrained to this very small universe, as a woman in the 40s and then even in a smaller universe because they're living in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing there. And so the wives kind of only have each other for company, but they kind of seem creepy, like Stepford wife-ish.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in it already, yeah.
And you wonder kind of...
I'm waiting for that
what
to come
else?
out more,
Honestly,
I think they could have left that whole section of the whole story out.
Yeah. For now.
There's no need for it.
Yeah.
You know, I know maybe if Mark was here, he'd argue that they're trying to apply to the other half of the couple that may be watching this.
Right.
To keep them watching. Keep both of them interested or try and be as generic as possible to rake in as many viewers as possible.
Right.
But
so they're basically assuming that your girlfriend or wife or whatever is not clever enough to follow them.
I was going to say that, Mike, and then I thought, I'm not going to be the woman every week that gets up on the soapbox, so I'm glad you said it.
Oh, nice. I fell into that trap.
Hook, line, and sinker.
But it's true. It's true to a point, you know. You know, it's. But how do they get on?
I think they are trying to show how the other half live.
You know,
But
it's not what it's about. It's about Manhattan, the Manhattan Project, and that's what it
I
should
think
be
for
about.
like the women's story to hold any kind of interest or gravitas, you really need to be more invested in what's happening with the men. And it is very much like a gender divide. I think there's one woman in the science-y group. I don't know if she was thrown in as the token brain. I'm not sure, but it is very much a gender divide. And so I think you need unheard of.
Where did you buy that?
Watch this woman shames her husband.
But I do think that you would need I think that the guy's storyline has to be a bit more interesting for there to be tension about the fact that they're keeping these secrets from their wives and to see their home life. You kind of need, I don't know, you need a lot more.
Yeah. I'm struggling to understand why this is being so highly thought of. Like 9s and 99s and 10s. Like across a range of critics.
What do people say?
They just say it's magnificent. It's such an important story. It's so well told. But you know, when I sit down and think about it, you know, it's shot okay. It's acted okay. The script is okay. The story is okay. You know, I'm not seeing where the importance of this is coming out.
Is this going to be the equivalent of the Benedict Cumberbatch one that's coming out, whatever the one about the encryption?
I think, this could well be the TV equivalent of that.
Oh, like the Turing film.
Oh yeah, so this is the American equivalent of the British Turing movie, I guess. So, so I guess from an American point of view, it could well be that important a story, which I guess it is because it's the story that won the war, kind of thing. Now,
at what cost?
So now, actually, incidentally, today is the anniversary of Hiroshima bomb.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, I did see a thing a couple of months ago on the Japanese surrendering. Excuse me. And they put forward the argument that they didn't surrender because of the nuclear attacks, but because they were afraid of the Russians coming in.
Oh, really?
Because they were losing very
That'll take
badly
the wind out of your
in
sails.
Manchuria.
I'd be afraid of the Russians too, actually.
Yeah.
Do you know, embarrassing factoid about my life?
Mm-hmm.
When I was in grade 9, which is the first year of high school in Canada, I had a science test, and it asked what Hiroshima was, and it was a multiple choice answer. And the answer I selected was a English ship.
Won't make that mistake again.
You're a credit to the Canadian education system.
I'm really, now that I say that and I realize how old I would have been in grade 9, I'm really hoping that I'm wrong and that this was a test I took in grade 5 when I was like 9 years old.
Should know better at that age.
Yeah.
Should not have the History Channel. I think I know why. Yeah, so I think that's the start, or one of the reasons why it's getting such good reviews. The other thing is, I kind of enjoyed the story.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I really enjoyed the story, and I thought the script was pretty okay. Yeah.
Glowing review.
Yeah. Here we go.
It was pretty okay.
So it was pretty
So
okay.
the divide here is between okay and pretty okay.
No.
That's going to go on their poster.
as in,
Stephen Wrigley, pretty okay.
Yeah, pretty okay is good. Okay. What I mean is like pretty as in very, right? So, no, there was no time that I sort of went, oh God, here's a story about someone's dad. You know? Although I did once, I think. But anyway, I think that was episode 2, because I did watch episode 2. Yeah, because I did like it. And I think I'll watch episode 3.
Was episode 2 because you were kind of curious about what happened at the very end of episode 1?
Kind of. I wanted to know where your man went.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. And that was great, because when you find out where he goes, you sort of go, oh.
Oh, does it become more interesting?
Yeah, they're sort of dudes with no names who don't report to anyone, but they're there, and they drive black cars and shit. And yeah, so that kind of part of it comes into it. And, yeah, I don't want to say any more, but... Well, actually, it's out, so...
Yeah. Well, that's actually, for me, the only thing that could rescue this is if they bring Roswell into it.
Yeah.
Then it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really interested in watching these guys do sums until they figure out how to blow stuff up.
Yeah, well,
unless there's an alien.
Well, they do try and blow stuff up. This is the thing. Like Frank goes to try and get some plutonium, all right, and so he has to go and argue his case and blah blah blah. And fast forward about 2 minutes if you don't hear this spoiler alert. But anyway, he's given this task. He wants to prove his theory that he can implode stuff. All right, so he's going to do this experiment with a pipe, and he's going to implode it into a cylinder about yay big, and you know, so on. And so he goes off and does that experiment. So there's a bit of blown up shit going on in episode 2, but there's more of the subversive stuff that goes on in bases in around that time. And I thought that was pretty interesting. How people sort of disappear, especially when you're in a place with no name, being talked to by people who aren't there. Yeah.
And we're never there.
By people who have no name. Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So yeah.
That could be cool.
So thriller filler.
It's got to be a filler for me.
Filler, this show sucked.
I'm going for episode 3, so it's thriller for me.
All right.
Yeah.
I will say, while I was watching it, with all the talk of plutonium, there's a really good
hardware store that sells plutonium.
You've been there too. They have a sale on this week.
Rooting around the dumpster outside B&Q or Lowe's or whatever.
No, I was gonna say there's a really good Mary Curie biography that I would recommend to people. I forget what it's called, but it's the biography of Mary Curie. The word golden might be in the title. I'm not sure, but it's really good. She had a really interesting life. If you want to read more about how plutonium was discovered, I say read some more about Madame Curie.
Oh,
listeners.
Could it be possible that a woman
discovered plutonium?
It just doesn't make sense.
She gets shit done.
For those who've just joined the podcast. Okay, so moving on. So next up, we have the second of our movies, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. Who put this on the list? Who's
I did.
responsible? Okay. tell us.
Obviously. So Guardians of the Galaxy tells the story. Oh, I should know the characters' names. Chris Pratt is an actor who plays the lead character, and he is a boy snatched from Earth around 9 or 10, shortly after his mother dies. And then all of a sudden we kind of see him in this space future world, and he steals shit for money and gets involved in kind of larger crime drama, and he gets thrown around with these other outcast types made of a tree and a raccoon and a green woman and a guy that's tattooed and very muscly, and they get shit done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is the tattooed and musty guy by any chance called Groot?
No, that's
no,
the tree.
that's the tree guy.
Oh, so that's Vin Diesel
Yes.
does the voice, and Bradley Cooper does.
Brad Cooper
Rocket.
does Rocket, yeah.
Yeah. Who else did I see
Who I
on
keep
this?
calling Rocky Raccoon, and I don't think I can be held accountable for that.
What's it? John C. Reilly is in this.
Yeah, he plays one of the policemen.
Glenn Close and
Yeah, she's the policewoman.
Mr. Del Toro.
Yeah,
Yes. He's
the collector.
Collector.
And also the muscly tattooed guy is a wrestler, apparently.
Oh,
I actually
All right.
thought when I first saw him it was Marius Pujansky, but not
what's
him.
the character's name?
I don't know, muscly tattoo guy. I'm so bad with names.
Okay. So to get shit done. So
They do, yeah.
in general, so what kind of shit do they need to get done?
So there's an orb that Chris Pratt as character. What is his name? I should know it so I can just stop calling
Fucking
him Chris
Star-Lord!
Yeah, he's a Star-Lord. Who cares, whatever. It's really, like, the tone of the film is very kind of indie-like. He was like, I'm Star-Lord. And they're like, he gets caught by the police at the beginning of the movie, and they're all like, oh, you have a name.
A code name.
A code name. And he's like, it's not a code name. It's Star-Lord. So he has this orb that he's been commissioned to steal to sell to this, kind of intermediary collector who's going to sell on to this expensive high-end party. And then he finds out after he's taken it that it's highly powerful, much sought after, and these kind of baddies in the universe are coming after him to get it, one of which is the Green Lady, played by Zoe Saldana. And they form an unlikely friendship, and yeah, when they got thrown in jail, they meet up with Rocket the raccoon, Groot the tree, and tattooed muscly guy, and they have to kind of save the orb from getting into the wrong hands of the baddie, who is named
Ronan.
Ronan. That's it.
So Batista is the wrestler guy.
Okay.
Dave Bautista. I believe Sean would have killed us if it had we not.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's almost like the galaxy is there and they're going to guard it.
It is kind of like that. You could say that in a way.
So this is a good guy, bad guy thing, is it?
Total good guy, bad guy. But like Chris Pratt it's not very serious like the Avengers would be if we're going to be comparing Marvel cinemas here. It's very kind of charming. They're kind of friendly. The jokes, I think, there's a lot of really good comedy that's not too, heavy-handed. I mean, it kind of plays up the fact that Chris Pratt's a human who just wants to be called Star-Lord. And, the soundtrack is really good. It's kind of an 80s soundtrack, and it makes a great backdrop for the kind of the fight scenes. But, they never miss, a funny moment. They don't change who the characters are. Sometimes I think films, when they're really funny in the beginning, when there's levity and no one's trying to solve anything, by the time they get to the end, they're like, oh shit, it's time to learn a lesson, and then they make everyone very serious. And there was a scene, when you think Chris Pratt's character is about to have an emotional breakthrough, and he's like, all of a sudden I just felt, like I was the hero, and you kind of just laugh because you're like, oh man, this guy's living every person's fantasy of being a Star-Lord, but it doesn't go further than that. So I really like the style of the way that the film was written, because I think it was, kind of more like, it had an indie feel to it in some ways. I don't know. I'm not doing a very good job of describing myself here, Mike. I'm sure you hated it, but why don't you tell me?
Strangely enough, I did kind of like it.
Really?
Yeah. When I first saw the trailer, I was really excited.
Yeah, it looked very funny. Was it a
did
comedy?
look funny. It is kind of comic,
Yeah.
but it's not an all-out comedy.
Okay.
And for the first little bit of it that threw me because I was expecting a laugh a minute.
Yeah. I was thinking more comedy, like Toy Story comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
No, I
But
wouldn't.
not kiddie, but just, that kind of laugh now and again that you go, oh, that's pretty cool, and good visual gag kind of.
Yeah, it is kiddyish. It's aimed for a younger audience.
Oh, is it?
I definitely
Alright.
think.
Yeah.
Especially with the raccoon character. I mean, that's going to sell so many millions of teddies.
It's like a Jim Henson thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in fact, I want a fucking raccoon.
Yeah.
But the comedy isn't, laugh out loud funny all the time.
Yeah.
They get dug into the story, and every now and then there's something like, oh, that's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
There is a fantastic scene between the broker character and one of the bandits, Merle from The Walking Dead. I won't describe the scene, but I was sitting there in the cinema just going, because it was so childish and immature, but funny at the same time. Zoe Saldana, I thought, did a great job. I've harbored a deep hatred of her since Columbiana, and she's kind of redeemed herself for me in this.
Right.
I thought she did a good job. Batista, he was, despite himself, one of the funniest characters.
He was! And it was funny, when I was watching him, because of, talking about Hercules last week, I had the two of them in my head, because here we have two wrestlers acting in a film that was going to have large distribution.
Look at you, half naked again.
Life is hard.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So, be under no illusions, it was Chris Pratt's abs I was there for. Paid money to see that. No, but Batista guy, he
did.
totally worth it. But I think comparing, his character is meant to be a bit cardboard. He has no sense of humor.
Yeah.
And because of that, the delivery is quite funny because he's unintentionally funny sometimes. There was one joke where someone says, someone uses a metaphor around him and he's like, I am not that. And they're like, oh, I think metaphors go over his head. Then he's just like, they would not go over my head because I have very fast reflexes. I would catch it. And you're laughing because, it's because of the very stiff delivery that it's funny. So I think
What
that...
kind of an accent has he, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, it's kind of neutral.
Oh,
yeah.
It actually, some of that dumb humor reminded me a bit of the Airplane and Naked Gun kind of dumbness. It's just put it out there. This is so fucking stupid. You're just going to have to laugh at it.
No, I was just wondering if they're going to play on a stereotype, because they tend to with space stuff.
Yeah. I was very confused about the whole universe building. Because firstly, I'm not a big Marvel superhero thing. And to my uneducated mind, it seemed like they were building a new separate universe.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good. It was quite believable. They put in place quickly enough what the rules were, how this system works. But then there are crossovers from Marvel world.
Oh, yeah.
There are certain characters that appear in what you would expect from, I don't know, Captain America, Avengers, blah, blah, blah. So there's obviously a tie-in. They're going to have some super conglomeration movie down the line that'll have all of it. Yeah. But I was kind of trying to figure out then what is the timeline, because we have this guy from Earth and all these space creatures that the Earth people don't know about.
And then you've got E=MC². So.
Yeah. And then my brain started to melt, and I said, fuck it, I'll just watch the movie.
It depends how far away from Earth they are, you see.
Yeah. And how fast they went to get there. Yeah.
I think it's one of those films that just, you shouldn't think too much about it, Mike.
Probably, yeah.
I never worry about such trivialities when I'm watching a Marvel film. But what I think added to this film a lot is the ending, which I will not say anything about, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done.
I will say something about the ending.
Okay.
I was prepared for an after the credit scene. Because it's a Marvel movie.
Yep.
And I stayed and I watched the after the credits scene, and I thought, oh yeah, that's good. time to go home. Then I went home, and Shona informed me afterwards that there was another after the credit scene. I was like, fuck's sake.
You're too goddamn impatient.
Every single time I go to these fucking Marvel movies.
You stay until the credits are finished.
Yeah. Until the staff are sweeping up and they're telling you have you no homes to go to.
Yes, that's it. You just sit there and you're like, I'm staying for the last bit. I know there's something. But, because the first after credits thing is shown fairly early on in the credits. I mean, I don't know what kind of juvenile rookie mistake you made thinking that was it.
Well, I was actually quite thankful. I said, oh, thank God I don't have to wait around for ages now to see the after the credits.
God, you're a fucking amateur.
Obviously, yeah. I hold my hands up.
I will say that I think that the early after credits credits were better than the late after credits credits.
Okay.
Far better.
I feel better about it now. Yeah.
And how much do you love Groot?
Groot.
For a tree that has a vocabulary of 5 words, he says, I am Groot, and then something else, a variation of that later.
It's all in the intonation. There's some deep emotion carried there, you know. I thought Vin Diesel did a fantastic job with the material he was given.
But I mean, he has very funny moments, you know, in the jail when they're talking about the purple battery. Groot has a great moment, and then he has a great moment towards the end that might bring a tear to your eye.
It might.
Might make you laugh again later on. You know, it's for a tree that doesn't say anything. He brought a lot to the film.
Yeah.
And then Rocket as well, you'd kind of want to wonder about, he kind of alludes to his past about being, a raccoon that they experimented on, which is how he became intelligent. He only kind of drops a line kind of randomly in the film. You don't get into it at all. But I do wonder if there'd be kind of an expansion on that. You could certainly understand why he's kind of a raccoon with an attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be pissed off if people experimented on me, I guess.
Do they not already?
So it's a bit like Planet of the Apes, then, in Caesar.
A little bit,
yeah. That's a fair comparison.
Only less polite.
Yeah.
And funnier.
Yeah.
Some of the scenery reminded me a little bit of what was that movie? Serenity. You know, the Firefly movie.
Oh yeah.
Just the brilliant whiteness of the city that they were in, and actually somebody told me during the week that Nathan Fillion from Castle and the original Firefly series was actually given a little cameo in it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of the guys in the prison, but he's so heavily made up, he's virtually unrecognizable. Yeah. So to anybody who spotted him, fair play to you. I did think the writing was very crisp compared to a lot of the other Marvel movies, specifically what was the last Captain America we watched? That was a bit of a mess.
Captain America, Frozen Soldier or something?
Something like that, yeah.
A Winter Soldier.
Yeah, the Winter Dick or whatever the hell it was.
Frozen Let It Go Soldier, something.
That was kind of all over the place. This one, it was very clear, you know, you have your opening scene, set up, who's this guy? Are we going to root for him? Yes, we're going to root for him. We know what he can do. We know what he's good at. And especially just before the third act, the darkness is just kind of, oh shit, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Which is like the classic, you know, end of Act 2, start Act 3.
Yeah.
Everything's fucked. How are we going to get back from here? And it was almost like a big fucking rampart, like Hadrian's Wall, dividing it. Yeah, it was. So for the target audience of your 12-year-olds and whatever, it was simple to follow, you know.
Do you know, I was reading an article today in The Guardian about Guardians of the Galaxy, and apparently more so than any other Marvel film, female viewership is up to like 50%, and apparently for Marvel films that's an anomaly, which I didn't know because this is, you know, my
Must be
thing.
the abs.
But, well, it's funny you say that, because they were saying in the article, you know, you have to attribute something here to more than Chris Pratt's abs, which are worth seeing the film for. I don't want to disparage them. He works very hard, especially if you watch him in Parks and Recreation like I do. He's kind of supposed to be a bit overweight, and he's kind of the lazy guy that does nothing. Then he goes away for summer, films Guardians of the Galaxy, and his next season on Parks and Rec, whichever season it was, you know, he's all of a sudden really cut. And they have to write into the script about how he became so cut. And he's just like, oh, I stopped drinking beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, because it's such a visible, like, he's got, like, cheekbones that you could slice cheese on all of a sudden, you know? Where there used to be, you know, pudginess there. So Chris Traeger, who was like the city manager in Parks and Rec, you know, sees him and he's just like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny to see how they had to write in his change in shape into Parks and Rec. But anyways, away from his abs and back to why we're really going to see this film. It was a really good article, which I'd recommend anyone finding, that was saying there's a few contributing factors that makes this Marvel film a bit more maybe complex than other Marvel films that are just kind of shoot 'em up, bang, bang, which I still enjoy. I mean, I love the Marvel films. But some of the things that they were accrediting to the increased female viewership was it the director is a woman? No, it's not. The screenwriter? God, I should have paid more attention. There's a woman who had a major role anyways in the making of this film. And, apparently that's had an impact on the script and the way that the film was carried out.
Would that many people have known this?
No, but they were saying that the article argues that the effect it's had on the film has made the film
Oh, I see.
a better to watch film. It's not kind of just this very shallow shoot 'em up, you know, make a witty comment.
That would be Nicole Perlman.
Perlman, that's what I remembered. Yeah, Nicole Perlman.
Anything
And what was
to
her
Ron
role?
Perlman? Or?
And what was her role in the film?
Well, it was written by her and James Gunn.
Okay. Yeah. And then the other contributing factor, they were saying that maybe Zoe Saldana has something to do with it as well. You know, strong female lead. You know, it's not about romance. It's not about, I don't know, being saved. It's just a woman who's there to kick ass. I don't know if that's kind of a bit, reductive, you know, because there's a female lead who kicks ass that women go see the film. But I think maybe the factors combined plus Chris Pratt's abs, make it a film worth going to see for women. But, I always enjoy Marvel films, but this, I think, might be my favorite Marvel film. I was, while I was watching the film, because now I'm used to having to score films, I'm trying to think of a score while I'm watching something, you know.
It's just ruined everything for you.
It has. Fuck this podcast.
So you're going, that is a 5. Oh, abs.
Well, that's
Plus
what
2, yeah.
I was watching the film and I was kind of thinking like, okay, I had a score in mind. And then by the end of it, I was so blown away. I had bumped up my score.
Oh.
Everybody.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. I think it's worth talking about the score itself.
Right.
The music.
Yes. Yes.
It was an unusual choice of music. It's very old, a lot of it.
Yeah.
And not something that a lot of the target audience probably would have heard before.
Okay.
Such as? There's one particular song from Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, right.
What was it? I Can't Stop This Feeling or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Ooka chaka.
Yeah.
And the last time I heard that song, there was somebody getting tortured. And in this movie, there's somebody getting tortured. So I thought that was kind of nice.
That was in Ally McBeal as well, wasn't it? And that whole dancing baby thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I last heard of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me remember the proper title of
it. Was
it.
like
but
the first of the internet sensation viral.
Oh, I remember
videos.
Ooka Chaka Baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing was creepy.
Yeah.
But the music is really good, and it's kind of a nice juxtaposition, you know, that it's very fun and upbeat, whereas sometimes in these superhero movies, they're like, now is the serious fighting part, but like, Chris Pratt's getting on his red leather, and you listen to this music. He's always got his headphones on, which is really cool, and you're listening to what he's listening to. I agree, the soundtrack was really good.
One criticism I would say is it does get a little bit soppy here and there. It's kind of, I never had any friends. No, I got friends. And it's kind of,
you guys are so good to me.
But I don't know. Maybe they thought they had to put that shite in there.
But there was some sentimentality that I think, because I wouldn't have much of a sweet tooth for that kind of gooey sentimentality in film. It comes across as very kind of try hard, doesn't it? But, what?
You guys are the best space friends I've ever asked for.
More or less.
But there is, I think Groot adds a lot for some of the emotional depth of the film.
He does.
You know, like the little fireflies. That's kind of a beautiful moment. And I think that happens in the same scene as the you guys are the best space friends I ever had. So there's other factors that kind of make that scene like a little bit touching. Yeah.
I
Wow,
would have.
I think
I
you
would
guys
have.
enjoyed this.
I would have just
Yeah,
preferred
good.
if those friendship scenes had been poisoned somewhat.
Oh, Mike.
A little bit dead inside, are we?
I was going to say, Mike's decaying soul is once again ruining his enjoyment of a film.
There's not enough hate. Damn Toy Story.
See, it wouldn't even have had to have been obvious. Just, a little
An
eye
implication
eye
of
movement
suffering?
or something.
Yeah.
Something that kids wouldn't have noticed. That's just me.
Right, come on, mark this up.
Go, Mike.
I've been thinking about this. I was initially going to give it a 7, but I think it's better than Hercules, without being an all-time classic. So
Yeah.
I'm going to push it over the edge into the 8.
Wow.
Very strong.
Wow, Mike, your second date of the year.
Ooh.
Wow. Jonah.
When I was watching the film, I was thinking 8? I think this might be an 8. And I came out of that cinema and I'm like, this is definitely a 9. I'm giving it a 9. And that's just because...
Not only abs, red leather. It's a 9.
It's like you know my scoring
I
system.
know. Cool. A 9. Wow.
And I'm totally going to see this again in the cinema. When there's a movie
In
that
3D.
I'm really, I'll reach my hands out. I'm like, someone's like, I can touch this ass. When there's a movie I'm really looking forward to, I will get myself a popcorn and a 7-Up to take into the film. And I got one for this film. And, I think I will go, well, I'm definitely going to go see it a second time. And I think even the second viewing will warrant a tub of popcorn. That's how good this movie is.
Actually,
Cool.
just before we move on, speaking of 3D, this is one of the better ones 3D-wise.
You went to watch this in 3D?
I did. And it wasn't too dark. I'm forever giving out about 3D movies being too fucking dark. This, they got the light right.
Oh, the White City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the White City. At no point was I kind of squinting trying to see what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
So, full marks.
And
on
does
for that.
3D add anything to the enjoyment of the abs? I mean, the film.
Actually, there was one or two explosion scenes where I did actually flinch and dodge out of the way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I didn't see it coming. I was like, shit, there's something coming. My reptilian brain was saying, fuck, Mike, you're going to die.
Awesome.
Very good. Okay, the second of our TV is Satisfaction. Mike, I presume?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us about Satisfaction, Mike.
Satisfaction is the story of a man with a wife who have been together for a very long time, on the surface very happy. They've got all the material things that they could want. They have a lovely, healthy daughter who's successful in her own way, and not too much is going wrong for them. However, they have reached a plateau in their relationship, and they don't have a lot of time for each other due to work and family commitments and whatnot. So, the husband is called away on his work and has to come back unexpectedly, wonders where his wife is, goes to find his wife, discovers his wife is in flagrante with a male prostitute. And the husband, instead of being sort of super angry and stuff like that, starts to explore the world of male prostitutes. And
Not visiting them, but being one.
but
To
being one,
clarify.
yes.
He becomes a gigolo.
Yes. And yeah, that's what it's all
Purely
about.
by accident. One must.
Yeah. There are a series of improbable accidents that lead to this scenario.
And I think in general, he's kind of bored with work, and he's kind of looking into Zen and ways to find life interesting again.
Yeah,
And this is his outlet.
it is.
Now, I know I'm going to get this wrong in the pronunciation. Right, but Stephanie Sozak? Stack?
I don't know her name.
T-Z-O-S-T-A-K.
T-Z-O. Sozak. I'd say Sozak.
Sostak.
So stack.
So stack.
So
Yeah.
stack.
We last saw her, I think, in R.I.P.D. as far as I remember. Blair Redford is the chiseled, good-looking guy. Guess what he's been in before?
Porn.
No.
I don't know.
Further from you wish, girl. He was in 90210.
No way.
Yeah,
The
and he
new
was
one,
in
obviously.
Young and the Restless.
I used to watch YNR.
Yeah,
Not
there you
too
go.
much though, because I hate soap operas. But it was one that I tried to watch.
I think, yeah, there was someone else. Deanna Russo was also in it, and she was in Young and the Restless too, actually.
But wait, go back to this guy from 90210.
Yeah.
Who was he in 90210?
I don't know.
Was this like 90210 the new class?
Yeah,
or like...
the new one.
Yeah, okay, well, fuck that.
Well,
That's
look
not-
at him. He's
that's
what?
not-
He's young. What is
Yeah.
he? I think he's like an 83 boy around that.
Yeah, he looks kind of mid-20s or something.
He's definitely younger than 50.
For sure.
Exactly. And Matt Passmore is the dad in this, the husband, who's a dead ringer for Dominic West at times, I reckon. Again, someone else that looks like Dominic West.
That guy needs to get a new face.
I know. But yeah.
Is it because you keep wanting to punch the face? Because I really just... If I punched people, I'd want to punch him in the face. He just has a face you want to punch. Aside from his character's actions, you just
Oh,
kind
you
of...
think?
You just kind of want to punch him in the face.
I kind of want to laugh at him, actually.
I just want to punch him in
I
the
think
face.
he'd be great in a comedy. He's kind of got a good funny face.
If you punched him in it.
Funny, weird, funny, haha.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a new respect for you, Shona.
Really?
Because I thought I was the only person that had this urge to punch random people in the face.
No, I totally have that urge. We can discuss it more if you like.
We could draw up a combined list.
Top
I'm
10
sure hers is less than
punchable
yours, though.
faces.
But, yeah, I didn't know. You know what? I kind of started watching this and then I sort of wandered away. And I didn't come back for quite a while because I wasn't enjoying it. But it picked up in the second half, I have to say. And one bit I found hilarious that kind of changed my mind on it was the daughter's song at the school talent competition.
That also changed my mind, but it made
I
me decide that I hate all these characters.
Oh, really?
That person is an asshole.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It
But
was
it's
during
hilarious.
that scene that I was just like, this is no longer about... Because I think in the beginning they're
Well, no,
trying
look,
to...
Look, they're all assholes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think like the
apart from the
beginning of
daughter.
the show, right? They're trying to say, haven't we all felt this way? You know, bored with
Yeah.
our lives and wondering what we're missing. Are we just kind of not striving for what would really make us happy or satisfied, to use the title? Well, so I think they were trying to go for a relatable aspect, and then the woman is sleeping with the guy, and you're like, ooh, an affair, and then you're like, oh my god, he's a prostitute. That sucks. And it's like, oh wait, now our husband's gonna be a prostitute? That's really
but it's
shady.
okay because she's bored. Because he's away a lot.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
okay.
That's
yeah.
the impression I got from
Right.
it. It didn't seem to be like a...
Lying to
oh
people
my
and putting
good
their
God.
health at risk is okay,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
if you're bored. Yeah, that's okay. That's fair enough. I'll let my husband know.
No, I'm not saying my opinion. I'm saying this is what it was
Yeah.
implied from
No,
the
it's
show.
true. It was.
It was all sort of like, oh yeah, it's just Toy Boy.
Yeah.
It's just Toy Boy.
It's funny, like, when men do it, it's always sleazy, but women, it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, it's because he's traveling all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just Toy Boy. I was just bored at home, you know. I needed this. I needed to feel
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's all on him.
I ran out of batteries.
Because up until we learned that guy's a prostitute, I was like, there's no way that guy would go for her. She's like, she's pretty, but she's just not the, like, when you're that hot and that young as the guy is, he's not going for 40-year-old moms, which she clearly is of, you know, which is, she's a hot 40-year-old mom, but she's like not the 25-year-old kind of hot that he's sleeping with. So I kind of thought, like, I started to think these people are not likable people. And then the daughter goes up on stage at school in her talent show to sing a song. And then her song is exposing the affair of two teachers who are in the audience.
So funny.
And I just thought, like, I fucking hate this family. They're assholes. Two asshole parents raise an asshole daughter, and that's what this show is about.
so
It's
funny.
not
You're-
about
You're
satisfaction.
expecting this lovely, sweet, you know, heart-rending song because she's been writing it. And you heard like a bit of a bit of lyrics out of it beforehand, and it sounded really good. And then it was just kicking off, and they shut it down. No, I want to hear the rest of the song. It was kicking. She was only starting to get going. You know?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. That was actually my highlight of that show.
Did you find the show incredibly frustrating to watch? Because the dad's life was everything about your day that you hate. I just sounded really Canadian. About It's everything about. But you know, like, he's in a job and he hates his job, and then, like, he's stuck on an airplane, stuck on a tarmac, and then, like, the air stewardess is way more of an asshole than I think an air stewardess is likely to be, you know? And then, God,
Although
what else
5
happens?
hours, I can imagine him.
Oh, of
going
course.
apeshit, but I don't see him falling down on it, and I don't see him going on a big rant.
And her being all like, we're looking after you. It's like, well, you wouldn't be left 5 hours there doing nothing. And then she's drinking her water in the back, kind of like laughing at him.
I did like the way she looked at him. And she was
Well, you see, that was, But there was an air marshal there who disappeared. Did he not? Was there not an air marshal? Oh, I'm mixing up.
There was an air marshal, yes.
Yeah, who sort of flashed the badge.
Yeah.
You know, sit down, sir. Return to your seat.
But
yeah.
I think
when he opened the fucking door and jumped out.
I think he got a text saying that somebody was going to get killed every 20 minutes.
But like there was something. Oh yeah, of course he finds his wife cheating on him. Then he gets thrown in a puddle when he tries to beat up a guy that's his wife is cheating with. And it's just it's every aspect of a shitty day, and I don't want to watch that. Like it's just kind of frustrating to watch, and you're just man,
it's pretty negative. Yeah.
It is, but like in the most frustrating way. It's called. It should be called not satisfaction. It should be called stuff that
not
sucks.
satisfactory, in fact.
Yes, whatever. If we want to get grammatical on me.
Yeah, I won't be watching any more of this.
God, I hate this family. I when I finished watching it, my husband said to me, "What was that one about?" And I was like, "A bunch of assholes that I never want to hear from again." So that's how I feel about that show.
Yeah, Mike.
I fucking love this show.
I knew it. Look, it's negative. There's some funny bits.
That's true. A bit of
There's
depravity.
some people being evil to other people.
Yeah. I should have known, Mike. It ticks all your
There's some
boxes.
sex against the wall.
Yeah.
With people they're not married to. Yeah, of course you're going to love this.
It reminded me a lot of, I suppose, Rake and American Beauty.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching things like this. I'm thinking, I'm so looking forward to my midlife crisis. It's going to be fucking great. And I just love the way that all the people are unlikable, and they just twist emotions and relationships and make everything ugly.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. That's exactly the kind of shit I like to watch.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Wow.
I thought your midlife crisis was the reason you were dressed in full Batman costume tonight, but this isn't your midlife crisis.
No, that's more of a training exercise.
I wasn't going to say anything. No one else was, but it's kind of weird. Especially that you bought the bat suit that has the nipples on it. That's a really strange choice, Mike, but
Well, no, see, they've got holes for the chain to go across.
Should have got the one with the abs, dude. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
You wear it well, though, Mike.
Yeah,
I don't want to
we'll see how the
you.
bonuses come in this year. I'll get the abs after.
Yeah. So, thriller, filler, Mike, thriller, I presume.
This is one I've enjoyed more than anything in recent times. I'm definitely going to follow this.
So you're going to watch more of it and tell us how
Absolutely.
it gets on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This, apart from Battle, Fight, Ship, Arctic, Survivor, Zombie, Rona thing.
Yeah.
This will probably be one of my shows for the summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Surprise. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm giving it a filler with mild interest peaked that I will listen to you tell me about it, but that's as much effort as I'm giving it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Filler. Yeah, but come back and tell us if we're missing anything. Yeah. Okay, so next up we've got some previews in Coming to a Bicycle near you. Okay, so the first of them is just two this week, actually. The first is Space Station 76. What did we think of this? Star-studded was one person I knew of. I know, Liv Tyler's in it. Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Another face I dearly want to punch. Every time I see it, I just think your face would look better if my fist was in it.
Yeah.
This is a comedy piss take of space films. It's like Anchorman in space.
Yeah.
I think you could sum it up
Yep.
by saying Liv Tyler is the new captain of a ship, and then the old Will Ferrell-esque Anchorman type captain guy has to, smarten up his act because she's there to set things straight. It's Anchorman in space, but not as good.
And your man from The Conjuring and Insidious is in it. Patrick Wilson, that's the captain guy.
Yeah.
And like you say, these jokes are they're a bit airplane-y at times, and there's a lot of them, and
they've been done,
Yeah.
but they're not even that funny.
not really, yeah. There's some visual gags that are a bit, But you know what? I know we're going to watch this because Mike's going to put it on the list.
I was just about to say, fuck you guys. We're going to be watching this.
Yeah. No, I laughed.
Is
gonna be
this
great.
nearing B movie territory?
Yeah.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah.
But it's got Liv Tyler.
Yeah,
What's not to like?
that it sucks.
I don't know, man. I'm very on the fence about this one.
Look at the shitty spaceships.
Yeah.
There's a
Do you know how
massive
long it takes to make a shitty spaceship like that?
Yeah. I don't know. You're not convincing me yet, but
Mm.
no, there's a couple of gags in it that were funny.
Yeah.
But there's a couple that were pretty bad too.
I might
There
wait
will
to
be
see
more.
kind of like how the marketing campaign pans out to see if this looks like it'll be more up my creek or not. But doesn't bode well, I have to say.
I don't know.
1970s space cliches.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
I like cliches.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, we need another trailer, I think. Yeah.
Do you know, speaking of space trailers, I know this isn't on our preview list for this week, but there's only so many. It's hard to review Chris Nolan trailers because they're always kind of there's always a very long wait for the secrety secrets of what the movie's about.
Yeah.
So Interstellar, there is a new trailer that's come out for it.
Is there?
Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't seen the new one, no.
Oh, okay. I'm curious to
Have
know.
you?
Well, I have, yes.
Oh, tell us.
Oh, well, it's a little less of the I don't know, Alabama or wherever it is that they're living on Earth with a lot of really sickly like, I love you, I'm gonna come back for you. You said you wouldn't leave me, Daddy. That stuff. There's a little less of that.
We're doing it for our country.
Exactly. And there's a bit more of space, a bit more of it's not Liv Tyler again, is it? No, it's Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
A skinny white girl. I couldn't remember which one. A bit more of her. You see a bit more of the space stuff.
Catsuit? No, it's a spacesuit.
Spacesuit, yeah. Not quite as tight.
Can you vacuum pack it or?
Maybe you'll see some Sandra Bullock in space levels of nudity. I don't know. There's hope yet. So the space element of Interstellar looks more interesting to me than the sickly sweet sentiments on Earth. And the new trailer shows more of the space stuff. So I'm hoping as the Chris Nolan secrety secrets of trailer marketing continues that maybe it'll start to look better than the really sickly kind of Earth aspect, which really bores me of that trailer. I'm so sick of hearing Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is not about everything that'll happen, is what can happen. It's like, I'm so sick of hearing that. And then her crying, well, Daddy, don't leave me. Anyways, I was just curious if you guys have seen the new trailer and what you think of Interstellar.
It's got 576,000 views.
Jesus.
They were all shown.
Repeat.
Stop watching it if you're sick of hearing it.
If I watch it enough, I might glean a hint of what's coming.
Cool. The next one we saw was Frontera. Frontera is IMDb describes it as former Arizona sheriff's wife is killed while riding on their ranch property. It would appear a Mexican man illegally crossing to the U.S. is at fault. As the former and the current sheriff search for answers, lives are changed forever. Ed Harris is in this.
Yeah.
I love Ed Harris.
Lead cowboy. Me too.
That's really all you need to
And he's
say,
great.
isn't it?
Yeah, he's great as a cowboy. Yeah. So we're watching this. And of course, what's her name's in it? Ava
Longoria.
Longoria. It's not Longaria, no?
It's Eva for one. Are you just winding me up now? God, I fall for it every time. I didn't recognize her because she always kind of in Hollywood has a lot of eye makeup on, and she obviously doesn't in this film. Yeah. I didn't even when her name was underneath her face. I didn't really recognize her.
So you went Ava who? Michael Pena. Michael Pena's in this, and Amy Madigan. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. It looks good. It looks like a good old story. Good old sort of scale.
It looks like it's been well made, but I have no interest in seeing it. I don't
Really?
think. Yeah. I feel like it's a type of film that's been done a lot. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this kind of cowboy western dark film.
Yeah.
Wrong person is well, it seems like the wrong person. I don't know if it is the wrong person, but
What's
they're saying that he's innocent and he's been accused of this murder because this guy was there. I don't
It's a bit
know.
like a Harrison Ford movie, isn't it? What do you call it? What's the name of that author? He did a load of his books. Jack, what's his face was the character's name.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack Ryan. What was the name of that? It's kind of like one of those, but it's, you know, where someone's been jailed and they're innocent. And
Yeah.
you know, and there's someone outside. Clancy, yeah. Someone outside fighting for, you know, their, I don't know, innocence or trying to prove their innocence, and everything's against them, kind of thing. But
Yeah. I don't know. It's
but fuck it,
interesting.
Ed Harris is in it.
Yeah,
and Eva.
Yeah.
if Ed Harris wasn't in this, I wouldn't have any
I'd have no
interest
interest.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's kind of the only interesting thing that is enticing at all about this film. I'm still not going to go see it, but
They should put Ed Harris on Big Brother or something, just to save him making movies and that kind of thing.
we can just see more of him.
It's funny.
I'm
It's
trying to
getting 8.3 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think why I like him. What movies has he been in that would make me like him?
Wasn't
Tell
he
me.
in, A History of Violence?
Yes.
I don't think that's the one.
But that wouldn't be
That
the one that
wasn't the one that
endeared
you
me.
liked him in, yeah.
No, go back further.
Something with a submarine.
He's in A Beautiful Mind. He's in Gravity. He's in The Abyss. Oh, The Abyss.
The Abyss. The Abyss was a James Cameron film that was a book written by Orson Scott Card, who we knew wrote Ender's Game.
Yeah.
So I think it was
So-
The Abyss. It was another one of my Orson Scott Card
Did you
books.
see Snowpiercer?
No, but I've heard so much about it.
Yeah, he was in that
It's
too.
supposed to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get my hands on
Some
it
of the guys
though.
didn't think it was good. He was out.
You could get your hands on a review of it, though. If you go into our
Where would I
back
go
catalog.
for that?
What else was he in? Appaloosa. Just looking back here. History of Violence, as you said. The Human Stain.
No. Eh.
He was in, Beautiful Mind. He was in Buffalo Soldiers. Actually, remember that? Buffalo Soldiers. Did you see that movie?
No, I never saw that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Have you ever heard that random fact, by the way, that there is a grammatically correct sentence that says buffalo, 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 buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
We were talking about this.
We
Remember?
were, yes.
Remember we were talking about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can.
Yeah. So the other one is buffalo.
Yes, there's 7 of them. There's a whole Wikipedia article on it if you feel like wasting some time at work after you're done listening to the podcast.
It's like buffalo. So buffalo from buffalo.
Yeah, can buffalo as
Can
into
buffalo.
bully.
Yeah.
Buffalo. And then there's a weird conjunction in there that I can never get.
Buffalo. It was like 7 or 8, wasn't it?
Anyways, it's something about the
It's pretty cool
relationship
then,
between buffalo from buffalo, buffaloing each other.
So
The Wikipedia article will explain it much clearer.
We're reviewing that one next week.
Yeah. There's a new verb I have to look up.
To buffalo. Yeah. I can see you using it out of context. And what else did we... Oh, yeah, so we looked at St. Vincent's as well, or St. Vincent, which we didn't realize that you looked at earlier, which is...
It was new to me,
Bill
though.
Murray. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. What do you think of this?
Bill Murray in a film. Well, I would
So
be
Bill Murray-
predisposed to Bill Murray films.
So he's kind of playing the.
This is essentially
Gran Torino
about a boy, with Bill Murray being Hugh
Grant.
Grant.
Oh, because I saw it as Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
I didn't see
Get
that.
off my damn lawn. You not see that one?
No.
Or he has the Laotians move in next door.
Oh, okay.
He's like, damn, hey, zipperhead, get off my damn lawn. He's like the owl lad.
Oh, okay.
Hates everyone. And Bill just looks
That
a bit
is
like
absolutely Bill Murray
Yeah.
in this film, yeah.
Or Jackass Bad Grandpa.
Bad grandpa, yeah. Actually, yeah, there is a bit of that in it, isn't there? Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
So I don't know. I tend to find him interesting. I don't know that the movie itself looks all that interesting. You know, like he kind of befriends the boy next door. He needs to make some money. I think the boy kind of needs a babysitter. The mom is played by Melissa McCarthy, who's hilarious, but it looks like she's in a kind of sentimental role here. So
Yeah, she's
I suspect that her talents are wasted.
Yeah.
I imagine that it's kind of mostly her being the caring
overplaying
mom.
the whole crazy comedy side of things.
I think
I'd
she's
like to see her in this role.
Really? Okay.
See if she's got other characters.
Yeah, other muscles to flex kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like put her in Cinderella or something.
Yeah. So Bill Murray.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to see it, but if it was on like a plane that I could watch, or if it came on TV, I might consider buying the DVD if it was a cheap DVD at Tesco. You know, €5 and under type DVD.
Right, yeah.
I have kind of my €7 rule that a movie would have to be really good for me to buy the DVD that's more than €7. If it comes under €7, my criteria for how good the film is drops.
I see. Okay.
Right.
It's very scientific, my methodology for what films I buy.
Should patent that. So, that's it for this week. Hopefully, Sean is back next week, I think. So we'll hear a lot about Comic-Con. We'll be missing Jonah.
So you will.
So you'd have to wait till the following week to hear his sultry tones.
I'll have twice as much stupid shit to say.
So, from Steve, Mike, and Shona, stay classy.